everyone. Welcome to our weekly wind down. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Randy.
And today we're going to be discussing packing for late summer, early fall at Disney.
Very important topic. I know that a lot of people, once they have a Disney vacation planned out, the next thing that they immediately start thinking about is, what am I going to pack? But first things first, always, since it is weekly wind down, cheers! Clink, clink.
Yes. Representing white, representing red.
Mm-hmm. Team red. Let us know in the comments. Are you team white or team red?
No, some people would go with seasons. I just go with taste. So
yeah, some people go with what they're eating, but I'm team red.
Yeah.
No matter what I'm eating. So, and no matter what season it is. I mean, it doesn't matter what the weather it is. I'm always team red. So.
All righty.
But
okay. So
speaking of weather, when we are thinking about what to pack for Disney, it is so important to consider the weather.
Yes, it can. I mean, it really can vary from blazing hot summer temperatures to a little chilly where you kind of feel like you need a sweater or a sweatshirt or something. So fall can get confusing, and I tend to pack more in the fall and winter seasons because of that, because it's like you just never know what the weather is going to be.
Right. So we looked it up actually, and we saw that the average temperature during that we're talking about the August to October time period. We'll do another weekly wind down where we talk about more of the winter months when it does start to get a little bit more chilly. But for this video, we're going to talk about August through October. So we have highs in the upper 80s to low 90s and lows in the high 60s to mid 70s. So of course, as you get more towards the fall month, like October, it starts getting a little bit cooler. Not much though, because you're still in Central Florida.
Yeah, 60 is like chilly in wintertime for them. So yeah.
Yes,
absolutely. But it does have, I don't know. I mean, I may not wear something here in 60-degree weather, but I do there. So I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But.
Right.
All right. So we're going to get into who wants to start? You want to start?
Sure. Are we starting with, let's start with the hot, like the heat when it's still hot.
August, September.
August, I normally am always in Orlando for my school's fall break. So that's late September. And here in Atlanta, it starts to get a little bit more crisp, have that crisp fall feeling in the air. Not in Orlando. So you have to definitely be prepared, because last September, I put on the cutest little Halloween. It was like a black t-shirt. And I actually had to buy another t-shirt at Epcot during Food and Wine when we were at Epcot, because I was like, I know, darn it. To buy another Disney shirt? Yeah. But I was like, I can't wear this all day. I cannot wear this all day. And I thought it was going to be fine. It was a short sleeve t-shirt, but it was black, and the material, it just did not work. So it is still pretty hot during the day in September. So think like when you're packing, especially in your park bag, like what am I going to need inside the park? Because that's typically where most people spend the most amount of their time. So fans are always super important.
Old school fan.
And I love that fan.
So I feel
whether you are old school fan or, something that you can recharge, fans are always super important.
Too. I brought this one last time when we were there in June, and it's pretty handy. I mean, it's kind of nice to have, and you have hands-free, so that's pretty nice too.
Yes, absolutely.
You have a mighty one that you keep on the stroller. That was like,
we do. And yeah, so we typically save our Ryobi for those summer months, but like I said, just make sure you check the temperature when you go if you're going in September and definitely in August because it is
Yeah.
going to be hot. But we have the Ryobi fans that we clip onto our stroller. They're not the super gigantic ones, but the super gigantic portable ones, but they are small and mighty but powerful. And we have two of them. We bring our two battery packs because you can use any Ryobi battery pack that you already own, and we love it. We get stopped every time we're in the parks by typically other dads stop us and ask, "Where did you get that?" And we're just like,
I
Home Depot.
honestly thought when we were at the resort and I saw the battery pack, I said to you, "Did you bring a power drill?" 'Cause that's what we
Well,
have it for.
exactly. It's the same battery pack.
Battery. I was like, "Are you doing construction here at the resort?" But yeah.
Right.
All right. So another thing for summer, listen, I mean, you got to protect your skin. You always need sunscreen. And I know
Yes.
that sometimes we think when summer break is
Mhm.
over that the sun has stopped giving you sun damage, but it has not. All year
Right.
long, you need sunscreen. So we always layer ourselves before we leave the parks, but I always have little travel size ones thrown
Mhm.
into the backpacks because one, I don't wanna weigh my backpack down, but, I mean, this it still has plenty in it, and we use this for,
Mhm.
like, for a week in June, so
Yeah.
or a small amount that can go a long way, so very, very, very important. Protect
Right.
yourself.
Yes. And then it does still rain. So
Yes.
making sure that you do prepare for the rain with either a poncho, rain jacket,
Mhm.
umbrella, whatever is your, preferred rain gear protection. Make sure you're still bringing that in those late summer, early fall months.
Usually for fall rain, it's not gonna be like summer rain where you will have the little rain showers in the middle of the day. It's gonna be if
Mhm.
it says that it's gonna rain that day, it's gonna rain for, like, a chunk of time,
Yes.
and y so I prefer. Well, okay, so, like, have different options. We in the summertime, we get these little disposable ones from Amazon, like, they have the kid size and the adult size, and then, because they come in, like, a massive pack, we
Hmm.
will throw a few in the backpack, and then when you take this off, when it stops, we throw it away because
Yes.
if anyone has tried to put on a wet poncho, um, it's almost
It
impossible.
just doesn't work. Yeah.
But Disney does sell. I mean, of course, I have a Disney poncho that is different material. It's thicker. Um,
Yes.
so these are reusable and easier to kind of maintain. But if you are a diehard park fan, in the fall months, it's good to have a proper raincoat because if it may get a little chilly after it rains,
Hmm.
and then you can kind of keep warm at the same time as keeping dry. So
Right. Right.
I love my raincoat. Love it.
Hmm.
So, yeah,
So pretty hot during the day, and then in the evening, speaking of, you might get cool after a rainstorm,
mhm.
you are probably going to get chilly, especially as we get towards the October, November months at night.
Yeah, and sometimes I mean, around that time, I think it was October, I used my raincoat as a jacket, especially, like,
Hmm.
in restaurants too, like,
Right.
when
Yeah.
they crank up the AC, but I've used that raincoat. So if you have one that you like and that you trust, I say you trust because you know how many times you put up the hood and it doesn't stay up, or,
Hmm.
it's uncomfortable, or it's too hot and you're sweating in it and stuff. If you find one that kind of makes it where you can wear it and not feel like a sweaty mess inside, or the hat thing keeps falling back. If you like
Yes.
this one I have, it stays. I mean, and the water just kind of disappears off of it, so it
Hmm.
doesn't, leave everything soaking wet. Stick with it. Use
Yes.
that
Yeah.
because you can trust it.
Yes. Well, and speaking of just knowing, before you go and trusting what you already have, shoes are
Oh
another important thing. Do not ever, and no matter what time of year you go to Disney, do not ever buy a new pair of shoes and then wear them for
no.
the first time at Disney. But
Uh-uh.
also, though, you need to wear them at home for a significant amount of time
Oh yeah.
before you just try to go to Disney. Because how many miles do we walk a day at Disney? A
Uh,
lot.
7? No. It was
It's
it
more than
was
7
n
some days.
no, no, it's like it's 17 no, it was more than 17 miles. It was an insane amount. I can't remember.
Mhm.
I'm horrible at remembering numbers, but I mean, I thought and this is I mean, come on, I've been to Disney like 40 plus times. I mean, I should have learned my lesson. I thought, "Hey, this was for a retreat whenever we went. This is an adult trip. I'm not going to be doing the parks all that long. I'm going to wear these new Nikes that I have because they're sneakers, they're comfortable, it's fine." And no, I mean, literally just walking in the park for just a short amount of time, I started having blisters rub when that hadn't happened at home. So it
Mhm.
needs to be like your best worn, beat up pair, comfortable shoes. And even
Yes.
if it's the same brand as maybe what you have had, you still need to break those suckers in.
Right, absolutely. And, um, so we're going in a couple of weeks, and when we go, I will still be wearing my sandals because those are my tried and true, my Tevas. I have different colors. I just love wearing them in the
Mhm.
hotter months, and then when it starts getting a little bit cooler, then I switch over into my running sneakers, my shoes that I use. Well, I don't run, but you know, I
You're
still call
right.
them my running shoes. I run it at Disney,
Yeah. Oh,
with
no,
Disney.
you walk fast. Running's
Yeah.
illegal.
I mean,
Yeah,
we might as well be running.
I
Oh, that's
know.
true. I don't run because
Mm-mm.
that breaks the rules,
It
and
breaks
we
the
don't break
rules.
the rules.
No, we do not break
No.
those rules.
Nope.
So yeah, definitely a good pair of shoes. So,
Mhm.
speaking of shoes and feet and blisters and all that, I cannot, any time of year, I cannot leave the house without moleskin.
Mhm.
You haven't used moleskin, you're missing out because Band-Aids are horrible. If you have a blister on your foot and you put a Band-Aid on it, it never stays on, it still rubs. I
Uh-huh.
that this is like I don't even know what it's made moleskin? Is it made out of mole? I have no idea. I need to Google it, but that's the name of it. I did not look into it that much, but, it's soft, and so you can put it on any part where you might feel something rubbing. If you put
Mhm.
one of these on there, you do not feel it, and it protects it. I pop these on little spots where I know my toes might get a little, beat up here
Right,
and there, and then I never get a blister from it.
right.
So, all season long.
Mhm.
I mean, this is
So
for any trip that you're walking.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, no matter where you're going. So speaking of essentials, like moleskin is an essential for you.
Mhm.
I have a few essentials and I have some spread out all over my desk, but just, just to throw into a park bag, I always am bringing wet ones because,
That too.
I mean, who does not need a wet one, especially with children? And also another especially with children, Jimmy even saw me use this firsthand on one of mine,
Mhm.
when we went in June because without fail, he gets something, normally ketchup, on his shirt, which I've also, when he's gotten ketchup on his shirt, just took a bunch of those Disney stickers and stuck them on top of the ketchup because I didn't
Ooh,
have this.
smart.
Yes, but
Smart.
now I always travel with
I
a
mean, if
shot.
I'm wearing a white shirt, odds are I'm gonna need that.
Yes.
Something. Coffee
Yeah,
will spill like day
right.
1 or, hour 1. Something that oh gosh, I mean, the amount of time that you spend on your phone. You need
Mhm.
charging
Yes.
apparatus, backup chargers.
Mhm.
This little guy I got on Amazon, it has the little hooks and the charges and all that built in, so that's kinda handy. The only negative is that you gotta keep it close because it doesn't have, like, a long cord or something, you gotta keep it
Mhm.
close. Fuel rods,
Mhm.
you can get these in the parks. I recommend getting a bunch on Amazon for cheaper. It comes like this, and then they have these little fuel rod kiosks kind of things in the little machines, like vending machines in the parks. You
Right.
can take your fuel rod that's drained, that has no battery, pop it in there, and it will give you a new one. It
Mhm.
costs about $30. Actually, I think it's gone up. I want
I
to
think
say
it's
it's
gone up not a whole lot, but yes, maybe
but
$5.
the ones that they have now have like a little, um, like a charging, like tells you how much battery, a battery
Mhm.
level icon thingy on there that tells you how much battery's left. So they've updated them. So I'm hoping they charge faster because they don't charge that fast. But if you purchase them and you drop it in there and you get a new one, I mean, that's kind of nice. I guess
Yes.
the negative is they're not everywhere in the park. They're usually in one or two locations, but
Mhm.
you know where they are. It's kind of nice to have on hand, and that can just, easy to keep. So definitely you're going to lose battery. So
Right.
I have that.
Yes. And then, since we're talking about the park, let's talk about, well, something that kids typically will need, or most people bring, some kind of autograph book. So this is Charlotte's, and I just love this one so much. It's one of those little golden books, but we have the characters, like here's Princess Tiana. Oh,
Oh,
trying to get the right. She
yeah.
signed right on the page.
Yes.
This is Graham's, just a simple classic
Yep.
autograph book. But kids love doing activities like this. Graham even loves to pin trade, so we're always bringing
Yeah.
his lanyard in. But also, the cast members will have pens or Sharpies or whatnot for, if you, in case you don't have it. But I always bring a Sharpie with me, just so that I can go ahead and have it out. I always feel bad for taking too much time. Like
Mhm.
I'm always in my head, like I'm spending too much time and there's people waiting. So I always like to have everything like opened up, ready to go, just to make
Mhm.
that process a little bit easier.
I mean, you always want to be efficient, which is kind of a lot of these things, like going through security and all that kind of stuff. Like you always take your umbrella out of your backpack going through security. If you have a
Hmm.
glasses case, you take that out of your backpack because there's certain things that will set off. It's just like,
Yeah.
that might be a video, a whole nother videos, how to get through security efficiently, like the
Yes.
things that you do. I like that video
Yes.
because people need to
Especially with a stroller. So last time, and a lot of people use packing cubes no matter where they go. So Disney's not any different, but we have a whole set of Disney packing cubes that we got off of Amazon. This is actually the one, I think actually the one I use in the parks is a little bit bigger, but I throw like the autograph books and the pens and our jackets and whatnot in a packing cube, just so that when I am having to either fold up the stroller to get on a bus or to get through security, I just grab the handle in the packing cubes and take it with me. It just, again, efficiency is important.
rather than digging through a backpack through everything. I
Hmm.
mean, I this last trip, I put our snacks in a packing cube
Yeah.
because how many times, your kids are asking for snacks and you have to stop and get the whole backpack out. So that way I just had it separately underneath
Hmm.
and I knew snack bag, there you go. Also, too,
Right.
you can leave some things on the stroller or under, in the carrier part, and it's fine. If your snacks
Yes.
get stolen, then those people needed those snacks more. But
Hmm.
then you take your essentials and your necessities, things that you would be a little more heartbroken if those got stolen, which it doesn't happen that often.
Hmm.
I've had one thing stolen, and that was my fault. I left a pair of Loungefly ears in the seat. That was stupid because those were limited edition and hard to find, and
Oh my gosh.
I thought, "Nothing bad happens at Disney," and left them right here. Yeah. So that's
So
fine. Somebody needed those.
yeah,
So
just, I mean, if you have something like that and then you have a packing cube too, you could leave it and it's
yeah,
kind of hidden.
it's hidden. Yeah. No
Hmm.
one's gonna go digging and at the risk
No,
of getting caught. So,
no.
yeah, that's an
Unless you're a squirrel or a bird, because I have,
so squirrel has those ears.
no, maybe. I
Maybe.
have seen a squirrel digging through somebody's stroller before and going to town on their snacks.
That's awesome. You did
If you
now
ever
you
come back and somebody
did
has taken all of your snacks, then that might be your person.
we did see a raccoon in
Yes.
the trash can at
Oh, yeah.
Epcot, like, right
Uh-huh.
outside, so it could be him too.
Yes, it could
Rocky,
be. It could
we
be.
named okay.
Speaking of ears, this is always my essential.
Yeah.
I don't know if that falls under park essential or if it falls under
Mm.
like outfit planning. It's a little bit of both because it's an essential, but I always am traveling with my ears. I always
Mhm.
have to have
I love
themed
that.
ears. Yes, my Hocus Pocus from last year. I saw that they just came out with new ones for this year.
Oh,
Um,
look, you're gonna have to leave something back home so you can have an excuse to buy something
right,
new.
right. And then my BB-8 ears that actually Jamie inspired me to buy
Wait,
because
wait.
I
Wait, what character is that?
oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. R2D2. Why did I say BB-8? You know what I
Oh,
mean. You know what I mean.
this is not the droid you're
Um,
looking
yeah, that is not the droid I'm looking for. My R2
for.
ears, that you inspired me. These are both actually no, just these. These are Loungefly. So I probably, if I ever take those off, need to
Mhm.
hide
You
them. But, I always have to have ears. I know you do too.
Mhm. It's part of my outfit. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, a friend of mine gave me an ear bag, like, to carry my ears in specifically, like, to carry because they're prized possessions. I mean,
Yes.
it's a little it's an addiction, really.
Mhm. It
Mhm.
really, really is.
We're going to therapy for that. So we did
Working through some things.
there's some things. Strollers. Some stroller essentials that we have now given we're this close to not using a stroller. Yes, I have a 10-year-old child. She's way too big. But we're gonna try it this next time in October without,
Mhm.
but it's only for 3 days, so we think we can do it.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna miss not having my shopping cart
Mhm.
and my drink holder and stuff. So maybe who knows? Maybe you and I, when we're there, we'll just have a stroller for that, for our
Right.
stuff. But
Exactly.
I use this I think it's called a mommy hook, and then I think
Mhm.
they corrected and made one that's called a daddy hook as well. I don't know the difference. But anyway, we hook it on the arms of or the not the arms, what is it called? The handles of the the arms of
Mhm.
the stroller. And I guess it hangs like this, but you can just clip, bags on
Mhm.
and stuff like on the outside. I think we had the snack bag hanging on because that's the thing that the kids needed, the
Uh-huh.
most and things like that. You can put your if you have a backpack and you don't wanna carry it while you're
Mhm.
walking, you put that on that.
Or
And
water bottles that have
then yeah, the
the hook.
handles.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Handle. Mhm.
that's a good one if you need more space. And then all the strollers start looking the same because everyone has a black stroller and, it's just they all look the same. So
Yep.
I put something bright so I can see it throughout, the sea of strollers. And that way it's a quick find and you can go, there it is. I found
Right.
it.
Yes.
So that
And
helps a lot.
that just literally what you just said made me remember the other thing that we always put on our stroller. We always put an air tag on our
Yeah.
stroller just
Uh-huh.
because not necessarily that we think somebody's going to steal the stroller, but when um especially at night, but when you're on a ride, it
Mhm.
is oftentimes cast members will come and straighten strollers up and move them just to allow more space for other strollers to come into that area.
Mhm.
And sometimes, especially at night, I have come out and I'm like, where's my stroller? So, um,
Yeah.
definitely something bright, but then something like an air tag that
Mhm.
is trackable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we had touched on water bottles. Obviously, a water bottle is
Hmm.
important. And I've seen people with just regular water bottles. Not all water bottles are equal. You have to make sure it's insulated because in these hot, hot days, you want to fill this thing up with as much ice as you can um, and then water. And it can you want to make sure it's one that is leak proof and all
Yes.
that. But one that really will keep your water cold because
Yes.
it's just so much more pleasant to drink ice cold
Hmm.
water than room temperature water. But
Right.
it's so important to have a good water bottle and to have something that protects the top
Hmm.
because you don't want the drinky part to be, touching.
Yes.
You're going to
Ex-
come back with germs anyway. So
right.
why back with I don't know. It's just the idea of that touching like the ground or I don't know. But yeah.
Yes,
But yeah,
exactly.
water bottles for sure.
Um, yes, and
What else do we
what
have?
I always bring too, because speaking of, we've talked a lot about how it is still pretty hot in these months, and then it's also hurricane season, so chances are it is going to rain at some point. I
Mhm.
mean, not that there's going to be a hurricane, but you never know. but
Yeah.
even just any kind of tropical system in Florida. So you never know if you're going to have wet clothes or how stinky your clothes are going to be after a day at the park. So I always pack like a laundry bag,
Mhm.
just so that I can make sure that I keep my dirty clothes separate. It's just, I mean, I know the smell is not going to be contained, but it's just something in my mind. It just makes me feel better to put dirty clothes in a laundry bag and then put them in the
I agree.
suitcase.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I don't like my dirty clothes touching my clean clothes. That's just
Yeah.
weirds me
I
out.
mean, I know the smell still will come through, but I don't know. It's something about it touching that.
I agree. I totally agree. And speaking of like things like wet, being caught in a rainstorm, let's say you're wearing socks and your socks
Mhm.
get drenched. I mean, that is the worst feeling walking around with wet shoes and wet socks. So if you can bring extra pairs to the park,
Yes.
if it is a little like towards the cooler side,
Mhm.
like October and on, yeah, I would definitely throw in some socks. I bring tons of Ziploc bags or any type of sealable bag in
Mhm.
my park bag because you never know when you need to have some wet socks and you don't want to put those stinky things in your backpack or a kid doesn't finish a snack or you get suckered into purchasing that giant lollipop that they're only going to have like 3 licks because it really
Uh-huh.
doesn't taste great and then you spent, $15 million on this giant lollipop and you're not
Right.
going to throw it away. You
Yes,
can put it in a Ziploc bag.
exactly. And I also have another bag that I just recently started using. You can see it's like full of stuff. Like, I don't know. I still even have our 1900 Park Fair
Mhm.
thing in there, and then all of our little buttons that we get from the resorts. But anyways, I love these bags off of Amazon. They come in just a huge pack. They are zipper. They're plasticky material. I know that people have seen these because I even put like board games and stuff at home in these type of bags. But
So
I put the autograph books and any kind of paper stuff in here. It keeps it protected from the rain,
yeah,
and it just keeps everything in one place.
that's smart. Okay, I have 2 items left. How many do you
Okay.
have left?
Um, just one.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
go with this one. All right, so obviously you're walking around a lot, you're moving around, the sun is beating down on you. You sweat. So
Mhm.
I always have backup deodorant, a small
Yes.
little one to throw, little travel size, because just in case you just need a refresh, you're going to dinner, you may be a little stinky and you want to
Yes.
look nice for, Mickey and Pluto. So like
Yep.
who wants stinky people next to them in line? No one does. So
No, no.
always nice to have.
Exactly. And then, I mean, this has nothing to do with packing, but I'll share it anyways. Squirrel moment. And Jamie knows that if I'm at Epcot, I will be stopping in to spritz myself with my favorite
Yes.
fragrance from the Norway pavilion. I have to do that before dinner.
I have it. I That's my perfume, but so I should have
Yes.
showed it. It's called Layla, right? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Dearness.
so
Yeah. So
it's so nice. Yeah,
the
that is
essence of Norway really is. They
that's what
also
I
have little if you go in there, they have little testers too sometimes,
uh-huh.
and, I like to grab one so that I can put it in my park bag. So if I'm not in Epcot or nowhere near Norway by dinner time, then I can just
Listen,
reapply it.
if you're on the other side at Epcot
Mhm.
and you're in the France pavilion, you can always
Oh,
stop
yeah.
into the perfumery there and get
Yes,
all kinds of
all
expensive
kinds.
smells. Yeah.
Mhm. Or
Alright.
really a lot of places.
Yeah.
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They have perfume
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways,
We should
I
just do a
digress.
whole perfume around the world. Then we
Yeah.
smell.
Yeah.
Okay, is that your last one?
No. So,
Oh,
no, that was just a
just
side
a
note.
side
My
note.
last thing is, and Jamie always laughs at me when I'm talking to her about packing for Disney because I'm always like, "What are you going to wear?" And she's like, "I have no idea."
I don't
And
plan
I'm
to
yeah,
feed
and then
you.
Jamie likes to park hop. It's not that I don't like to park hop, but because I don't know if it's my type A personality. I like to be themed for the park. So typically, you will not catch me wearing Star Wars and Magic Kingdom. You
Oh,
won't catch me wearing Lion King and Epcot. I mean, so the other thing that my kids have recently really gotten into are Crocs. And we have our whole box of Croc
oh,
charms.
that's right.
And they also have to be changed depending on the park because they are not going to wear like I don't know, they're not gonna wear Buzz Croc charms
No,
to Animal
that
Kingdom.
no, that's horrible. I don't know
Yeah.
why she yes. The morning one of the mornings, I was trying to help get us out the door faster, and she's like, "We have to change the croc things." I was like, "Oh, dear God."
That's important. The Croc charms have to be changed. They don't match the theme of the day.
And I was like, "Oh my god, this is ridiculous. I can't believe we're spending time." But then I was like, "You know what? Listen, I have my own things. I get
Mhm.
it. I
Yeah,
understand." And then
yeah.
to me, it's commitment, and I like it. I like that
Again,
you were committed to the theme. Love that.
yes.
So,
Again,
I'm
therapy, there's a lot of things that
all
trying to
for it.
work through.
Disney therapy is
Yes,
very expensive.
right.
The last thing now, not this is not necessarily an essential per se, um, but we love our cast members. The cast
Mhm,
members at Disney make the trip magical. And we're very appreciative of them because they don't get paid a ton. I mean, it's been in the press. Everyone kind of knows that story of the back and forth. They sometimes are treated really crappy by guests
mhm,
because people are always the line is, you know how much money we've spent here, and we're like, yeah, everyone has. Like that's
mhm,
you're no different. But these cast members, they get blamed if a ride closes. They get blamed if it rains. They get blamed if there's a line. I mean, and they're always so patient and they're so happy and joyful, and we could not appreciate them enough. So
right.
I ordered these off Etsy. I need to get more because I have a feeling I'm going to need a lot for our cruise coming up, but they are cast member appreciation little tokens. So they
Those
just
are
say we
so
love our
cute.
cast members. We hand them out to people who we feel have either added some extra magic to our trip, maybe have gone above and beyond, or maybe have just brought a smile to our faces. And or maybe they needed a smile, I mean,
Mhm.
giving them to people that have just been like a good server at a restaurant, or a skipper cruise host person on the boat.
Yes.
We've given them to Skipper Kinsey. Shout out to Skipper Kinsey. She is the best Jungle Cruise skipper. And then there was a cast member named Ashley at Space Mountain that she was just amazing. Yeah, but
Mhm.
anyway, there's so many times that we've used these, and my little baggie is running low, so I need to get online and see what I could do. But the joy it brings them to
Yeah,
be, I guess, I don't know, knowing that what they're doing is not going unnoticed.
right.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
important. It's important to give
I do too.
joy
Well, to
back.
give and to say thank you, and,
Yeah.
um, every time I have a positive cast member experience, I'm always opening up my phone right away so I don't forget,
Mhm.
and giving a cast compliment, but that's so nice to have something tangible to hand them also so that they kinda I don't know when they get that feedback, from the
Yeah,
cast compliment, if you give it to them on the app, but so
yeah.
they get immediate feedback that they have done something special. So
Yeah,
that's
and it
that's
makes their day extra better for making
mhm.
I mean, that's the thing. I appreciate people who work hard to bring joy to people, and I think
Yes.
that's, it's a it's not as, you don't find that,
No,
you
it's not as common as
know?
you would think or hope,
Mm,
for
yeah.
sure.
So, yeah, that I think is our last one. To me, it's like one of my most important things to always
Mhm.
have on me,
Yes.
and yeah, it's I'm gonna set it on my desk so I cannot forget to get more, because
Yes.
I will lose my mind and totally forget.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I think that that is it of my essentials that I have.
Yeah, I
Look
think
at
so. Just again, like, I think the most important thing is check the weather,
Mhm.
because most of everything you do at Disney is going to be outside. Make sure you have appropriate clothing to wear for the weather and shoes to wear for the weather.
Yep.
And other than that, like everything else is just kind of extra, but you'll find that you need these things. You might
Mhm.
think like it's excessive right now, but you'll find you do
Yeah.
need some of these things as you are spending a whole lot of time in the park without
Mhm.
being able sometimes not being able to go back to your resort. So,
Also, too, I mean, I think a lot of people like, yeah, your hope is that you never have to use your rain gear. That's your hope.
right.
But sometimes people leave the parks when it's raining.
Mhm.
Rookie mistake. Don't
Mhm.
leave the parks. Like,
No.
lines get shorter. I feel like only the strong survive and the strong tough it out. Lines get shorter. I don't know. Sometimes you miss a few little magical moments. Like at Animal Kingdom, the best time to go on safari is if it's raining. Like
Yes.
you run to safari and you get on that because the animals just come to life. Like
Yes.
I mean, they are alive, but you know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
they're playful in the rain. And
Uh-huh.
then um, or you may have the rainy day parade at Magic Kingdom, little things like that, like just because it's raining, that doesn't mean your trip should end or your park
Mhm.
day should end.
Right.
Like,
Right.
take advantage of that. Make
Yes.
magic, you know?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another weekly wind down. We love doing these. We hope that you love watching. Please like and subscribe our video, and we will see you next week on the next episode.
Yay! See you later.
Bye.